and welcome to episode 105 of
the Eldritch Podblast.
I am Margaret.
I am Jack.
Hi.
Welcome.
What are we up to?
Welcome one and all.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome. If it is your first time or your 105th time, welcome back. Welcome for the first time.
Welcome. Come on in.
Come on
Entity,
in.
Move to the side.
It's very crowded
Let
in
them
here.
in. Yep.
We didn't expect to have as many of you here.
No, certainly
so
not.
we didn't
certainly
rent
not.
a big enough space.
No.
But,
And the entity takes up enough space for like all 4,000 of you.
You know, we're all right with like being in each other's spaces.
Oh,
right?
yeah, we're okay with sharing the same air.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I'm in your bubble, you're in mine.
Yeah, we're okay with like knees touching.
Yeah.
Huh?
And what about faces touching?
How about lips touching? Hello. Welcome. You know what? Before we get any more completely unhinged, we would like to thank today's sponsor, BardSongs, for sponsoring this video.
For sponsoring the Eldritch Podblast and all of its,
Yeah, thanks for sponsoring this.
Thanks for sponsoring this. But yes, thank you so much to BardSong for sponsoring this episode of the
Thank you
Eldritch
so much.
Podblast.
Listen, you're going to love it. You're absolutely going to love it.
You are.
You can see here on our table, oh my goodness, we've changed the set out a little bit. We've got the character attribute tracking panel. Fancy, I
Very
know.
fancy, very fancy.
And one of the modular minis here, as you can see, we have their attribute tracking panel opened here.
Give
but
it to me.
I will put in some footage of the actual panel when it's folded up, because it can be completely compact and you can put it all into one roll and take it with you wherever you need to go.
If you want to upgrade your character sheet from a shoddy little piece of paper that you rub out and make holes in and gets all smudged and has bolognese sauce on it from your pre-D&D meal, you can upgrade. You can level up your character sheet here with the, what's it called again?
The character attribute tracking panel.
Character attribute tracking panel. You have everything that you could ever need. You can have a little picture of your character up in here.
Oh my goodness,
you can have your HP, your AC, whether it's over 100, under 100, all of your spell slots, all of your stats, proficiencies, spell attack bonuses, everything in this extremely sleek and beautiful looking piece of equipment here.
Yeah, listen, if you are like me and you need something physical to keep track of things
tactile.
Literally, I need physical things to keep track of my spell slots, things to keep track of my death saves, everything that you need to track, I need a physical copy of it. And I feel like this does a really great job of having something tactical. It's visual, you can see it, you can feel it.
They're all on magnetic panels, so you
literally
can slide across how many spell slots you've used, how many like death saves you've got and things like that. You turn the panels for your AC and your HP with like little scroll wheels. It's very satisfying.
It is.
To touch.
It's really satisfying.
And it feels great. It looks great.
Yeah, it does. It looks absolutely stunning. Like the wood and the leather and then the little metal trackers. It looks so good. I mean, you can see it. And again, I'll put some B-roll in, but it looks fantastic.
The fact that you can it looks excellent as it is, but the fact that you can compact it up into the canister, you can carry that around,
and you can just put it in your bag or your D&D bag. Right.
Now let's get to the real shit. You know when you buy a mini, right? And you have an idea of what your character looks like at level 1.
Yeah.
And then they level and they adventure.
Yep.
And then they level up and then they find a magic item. Or they multi-class into a wizard or something.
Or you dye your hair because you've gone through a breakup. Or you
dye your hair because you went through a breakup in-game with your roleplay. Yes. Well, modular minis, hand-painted by BardSong themselves. Every single one is hand-painted by them. You can now, look, I was just a fighter. You probably can't see it very well from there. But now I've multi-classed into a wizard and I'm a spell sword. You can take off the hands. You can take off the head. Yeah, you can equip different items, swords, spells, staffs, axes, all those things. Your character goes through changes, and now you can too.
Yeah, you can change everything about them. It's really fantastic. Literally, our table, we're having a chat the other day because we play virtually with minis, but every single time your character goes through a change, you have to change the mini, then you have to rebuy the STL, and you have to rebuy the mini. With these, you can literally just buy the attributes that you want, and
pop off the hands.
They're all magnetized.
Pop on the shield now because you wanted extra AC. You pop off the shield, and then you pop on this one's got a blue flame in the other hand because this person is a spell sword, this person is a gish. Yeah. The customizable nature. Do you want to know what? I can't believe people haven't done this before.
No, I completely agree.
In the year of our entity, 2024.
I know, truly. I completely agree.
This is the first of this iteration. It's insane. It's amazing. Yeah, it's great quality. It looks fantastic.
For minis, beyond just being able to change the paint colors on them, it's customizable But I mean, I've not seen anything like that before.
No.
Like it's honestly, genuinely, really fantastic product. And if you like the sound of this, they do currently have a Kickstarter, a very successful Kickstarter, may I add.
Unbelievably successful. Well,
I mean, look, first of all, I know, look at it, obviously.
As of today, the video going live, there is 11 days left of the Kickstarter.
Yes.
There is already over £230,000 raised with 1,000 backers.
1,000, which is insane.
Yeah, that's a lot of money from each person.
No, it truly, truly is. And, it just goes to show that people are really excited for this. It's a really good product. They were kind enough to send actually a copy of it out to us so we can physically see it and have it. And it feels really good. It looks really good. That goes without saying. And if you play physically, either you play physically with minis or you need something physical to keep track of your character's stuff, this is a really, really great option.
Yeah. The minis themselves are great, but the tracker is just another piece of the puzzle.
Very much agreed.
So if you want to support the podcast and you want to support BardSong, head on over to the Kickstarter and pledge whatever you may like to.
Indeed.
And thank you very much for BardSong for sponsoring the podcast.
Thank you so much, BardSong. What an absolute treat.
What a pleasure.
Thank you. It truly is a pleasure. And we really hope you guys enjoy it. So thank you.
What's next, babe?
All right. What is next? My gosh.
Talking about an OG coming back.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about the Phoenix from the Flames.
And it's not the Entity. Entity never left.
The Entity never leaves. Even if you think you're alone, you are never truly alone.
You're simply not. We would really like to announce the return of the Homebrew Challenge.
The Homebrew Challenge.
Yeah. You know what? It's so strange because just the other day in the Discord, someone was asking about the Homebrew Challenge. And we were like, that's such odd timing.
Weird
timing. Yeah. The Homebrew Challenge is coming back and there is some, a few
revisions.
A few revisions. Listen, the best part of the Homebrew Challenge was seeing... is seeing people hype each other up.
Yeah. Seeing you all, look at each other's stuff and be like, that's a really cool idea, man. I've never thought about it like that. When I thought about it like this.
Yeah, totally.
That's a really great idea. And you all get in the watch party and hype each other up.
That's it. It was like when we got into the watch party and we would announce the winners and the runners up, that was when, pardon me, the most hype would be. And it felt really good. And it does feel really good. So we want to try and encapsulate that, but in a different way. So it might be best if you explain it, Jack, because I'm bad with understanding schedules.
Is only a minor change to the Homebrew Challenge. And what is going to happen is today we are going to roll a new challenge under a new theme, which we will announce very soon. And instead of having till Monday, you will have until Sunday at 7 p.m. And that time might sound familiar to some of you. Because that is when we go live on Twitch.
Yes, it is.
And what we're going to do is you are going to submit to the Discord as you always have. But at 7 p.m. on a Sunday, we will go live on Twitch. We will go through all of the homebrew material that you have given to the Discord and given to the Eldritch Podblast on stream. And me and Margaret will make a short list. But Twitch chat themselves will be picking the winner.
Ultimately deciding the winner,
From the short list that we picked.
Indeed, So every single submission is going to be read out. It'll be reviewed. And again...
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about, where it's good and maybe what we would change and things like that.
Totally.
Just about, helping each other grow as homebrewers, because none of us are complete homebrewers.
And, I know that there was, a few comments of, I really put a lot of time and effort into this, and we want to be able to still showcase all of your work, but, also be able to choose a winner at the end of the day to go up. So
because if you put one in and maybe it's only the few people who go through the Discord because they're waiting for the announcement on the actual podcast. This way we can actually show your stuff to more people on Twitch. But then we will only be announcing one winner because everything will have been gone over on Twitch. But that will again just be 2 Mondays from the day we announce. But on the same day we will also announce a new challenge.
Yes, exactly. So basically how it works from today, we're going to announce a new challenge. There's going to be every other Monday, we'll be reading out the winner. And every other Sunday, we will be reading out all of the submissions on Twitch.
Weeding.
Jesus. Honestly,
all
this
of the
stuff
submissions on Twitch
absolutely messes my head up so bad.
So the Sunday after we announce, you can come and hang out on Twitch, and we will definitely read out your homebrew submission.
Yep.
We'll go through them all, we'll shortlist them, and then Twitch chat will pick a winner.
Indeed. So, really for you guys, the only thing that's changing, you still basically have a week to get your submissions in.
You have exactly a week to get your submissions
in. Well, not exactly a week. I would say you have like 6 days.
You have,
right?
well, it's,
because it closed at midnight on Sunday anyway. You know what I mean?
So
it's basically the same amount of time. And again, to preface this, if you do put a submission in, we are going to be reading it out on stream. That is something that will happen. I promise you, everything. Listen, if you haven't joined one of our streams, it is the most positive,
as you can imagine,
warm, fun, kind, supportive environment you could ever imagine. I mean, you're all, what do you expect? You're literally the best community possibly on earth.
Yes.
So just know, when we read out your submissions, we will be handling them with care.
Yeah.
We'll be reading them out respectfully, and it will be purely just hype for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the thing is, it's like, if you can, maybe you've put something in before and not understood why it didn't win. And like, we can go on to Twitch chat and we can be like, maybe me and Margaret can be like, this is awesome. I love the theme of this. But maybe mechanically I would have given it more of these or something like that. And, we can like talk about them.
Totally.
And we can all like get better. Because the thing is, I read some of your submissions and I'm like,
I know. Yeah.
Wow, I would never have thought
I know.
That.
Same. Honestly, same.
And I grow as a home brewer at the same time as you do.
It's the joy of feeling inspired by reading
100%.
Other people's like creations. And that sentiment is felt through everyone. I think everyone kind of shares that feeling. So yeah, that's the Homebrew Challenge. It's coming back, baby, and it's starting today and it closes on Sunday. I don't know what the date for Sunday is.
The date this Sunday is going to be the 4th. No, the 28th of January.
28th of January. 28th of January, yep. Okay. Do you want to know the theme?
I want to know the theme.
You want to know the theme?
I actually came up with the theme in bed last night.
You did.
As I was falling asleep.
For what I thought was a completely different reason.
And I was falling asleep. My eyes were dimming in and out as I laid there on my side, being the little spoon to Margaret, as I am every night when I fall asleep.
I am the big spoon.
And I thought to myself, hope. The word hope. A new year, a new hope.
Well, I thought, but yeah, theme's hope, by the way.
Theme is hope.
Yay, the theme is hope. I think
hopeful.
That's a really, really nice one. And it encompasses so many different things.
Yeah.
There's so many ways people can interpret that. I thought you were choosing hope because it's a really big theme in your campaign right now. And I was like, that's great. Yeah. But the theme is hope.
The theme is hope.
It's going to be the same. There's going to be 3 challenges per theme. And I don't know who rolls for this.
Me.
Should we roll off? Should we do a roll?
Should we do a roll off?
I don't have a dice on me.
Well, I'll give it to you. Right, my roll is...
Go on.
12.
12, all right. Mine is... 13. Mine's a 13. Damn. Oh my goodness gracious me. Well, guess I'll be rolling it then. So, if you don't know, we roll on this table here.
We sure do.
This has it's a D20 and it goes... there's
1 to 20.
It goes 1 to 30. And as you can see, it goes from a simple melee weapon to a potion to a world primer.
So all sorts of
different things. Do you want to put a timestamp down for that by any chance?
13.
Yeah.
50 something.
Yeah. And I guess I'll roll for it then. Are you ready?
What may it be?
What
are you hoping for?
Yeah, what are you hoping for? Listen, it's been so long since we last did the Homebrew Challenge.
Anything's fair game.
I can't really remember what the last things we did were. I know that there was a shield.
There was a shield because it was like the Christmas shield.
Yeah. I think that was the last one actually. I can't recall.
There was a monster. There
was a monster. Yes.
Come on.
Right. What are you hoping for?
Well, if we're gonna read it out on stream,
yeah.
I would love. Do you want to know what I would love? Like a weapon or like a magic item.
Yeah.
So we can like really go through like the itties and gritties of it on stream. I think that'd be sick.
I would really like a world primer.
I love world primer.
I would love a world primer.
Well, that means you got to roll a natty 20.
Well, let's see.
Well,
that's so cocked. Sorry.
Couldn't be any more.
No, yeah. 18.
18. 'Tis a monster.
Oh my god. Monster is the thing that has been the most rolled thing on this challenge.
That's the third monster.
That's the third monster.
Right, we need a hope full monster.
Oh my
We need a
goodness.
monster that is hope. Is
Yeah.
it the last bastion of a sanctuary of a
Yeah,
god
yeah.
that is protecting
Yeah.
something like that? Is it a angel of hope or something like that? What is it?
Yeah, is
Talk
it,
to me.
the hope comes the other way around. Like, we hope we can eradicate this thing in order to, progress whatever.
Is it like is the world slightly more advanced? And is it like a machine? And you're like, we're gonna retake the city like in my campaign, but now we're gonna use this machine to take over the city. Hope, a monster with the theme hope.
That's exciting.
That's gonna be an interesting
so exciting.
one.
So you have till Sunday to get your submissions in, and then 7 p.m. sharp. Probably not sharp. We talk a lot. We will read through all of your submissions.
But you'd get there for the beginning of the stream, right?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna be here the whole time.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Oh my
Right?
god, obviously.
Right?
Yeah.
But come and join us on stream. That'll be absolutely awesome.
Yes, it
I
is
think
Sunday
this-
the 28th, and then we will read the winner out on February the 5th on the podcast.
Correct. I think this is going to be one of the most eclectic. I think this is going to be the most variety we've ever seen.
Agreed.
Because I think people are going to interpret this all sorts of different.
I just went to close my iPad and I saw your notes you wrote on the iPad that one time when you were like, I need to draw something.
You saw all of them?
Yep. I just saw
And you
them.
read them all?
Well, I didn't read them all. I just saw it. I saw a word.
What did you see?
Well, now that's been discussed.
Nothing important.
Oh, goodness.
Nothing majorly important.
Oh, goodness gracious. When you live with the DM, listen, sometimes these things just happen.
No, never really. Never really.
Maybe once or twice.
You saw a monster in my first campaign.
Did I?
Yeah, you saw a monster that I'd like looked up and was thinking about running for you.
God, I don't recall that at
Yeah,
all.
yeah. But I think that was probably the last time.
I see. Well,
And that was 2 years ago.
if you're watching, anyone in our party, I know your deepest, darkest secrets. I don't.
She
swear
doesn't.
I don't. I
She
swear I
absolutely
don't.
does not.
I swear I don't. I swear I don't. Anything else to say about the camp? Sorry.
No,
about-
Homebrew Challenge. Get your hopeful monsters in now. Your hope-themed monsters in now.
Yes. Is it hopeful or hope?
Hope.
Hope.
But hopeful is part of hope.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Hoping
I agree.
is part of hope.
Agreed.
All these different ways we can interpret it.
Hope squandered.
Ooh.
No, I don't
Head to
know.
the Discord now and go to the Homebrew Challenge forum. And is it forum?
No, it's a thread.
There's a thread. And put your submissions in.
Yeah. And I hope you enjoy that.
Yes.
Yes.
And we want to just quickly mention the campaign updates.
Yes, God, there's a lot to get through. Sorry.
So-
You know what? We had a lot of things we needed to tick off in this
Yes.
episode.
Last week you saw it on a Friday.
Yep.
That was our fault.
That's our bad.
We just
Completely forgot.
completely forgot to upload it on Wednesday because
Yep.
we're so used to only doing 2 videos. When we had a 3rd video, we just forgot.
Listen, we didn't even edit it.
No.
Listen, to be real with you, we didn't even edit it. It got to Wednesday and we were like,
Huh.
that's weird.
Interesting.
And obviously, Wednesday's the day that we play D&D,
Yes.
so we just didn't have time to deal with it. So,
From now on,
yes.
it will be every Wednesday
Yep.
at 6 o'clock.
Yep.
Same time that you get every other episode.
Yep.
Thank you for everyone who watched the first
Oh
one.
my God.
So many views
Oh my
already.
God.
The day, because we're recording this on Saturday, the day after. It's got
Yeah.
because the campaign updates don't get as many views as the
No,
normal
yeah.
videos.
Yeah.
But so many people watched it.
Like,
So thank you so much.
Honestly, I was like, maybe like 80 people
Yeah,
will watch
yeah,
it. Last time I checked, it was like 270,
Yeah, it's
which
like 300 people.
which is insane.
Which is just,
so
warms my heart.
Thank you for giving a fuck about our campaign
Yes.
update. That really means a lot. And also, we said in that video, because we lost the VOD from stream,
Yes.
we weren't sure if we were going to do it on stream anymore or if we would just pre-record it like that. We took it to stream and everyone vehemently was like, please no, do it on stream for
we
us.
want you to do it on stream.
So who are we
Stream.
to deny you?
So the second one has already been recorded.
Yes.
And we'll be going up on
Wednesday.
Wednesday at 6
Yes,
o'clock.
indeed. And from now on, the format is we're going to do it on stream.
Yes.
We're going to see how everyone feels about it. And if
Yes.
anything needs to be changed, it will. But
Yes.
that's how it is.
Very good.
And finally, the last thing I want to go through is the submission form. When I was going through these submissions, and we've made a new form. That's nothing you need to worry about, I promise. So many people were like, I don't know if I've submitted this to the wrong form previously, so I'm resubmitting. Thank you. If you could, if you've recently put in a submission and you want it to be seen by us, please feel free to resubmit it to
Yes.
the new form in the
Yes.
description.
Yes.
It is absolutely correct.
Yes.
It really helps. Yeah, thank you. And if you're just even slightly unsure, please send it in.
Just resubmit.
Yep, simple as that.
Thank you very much.
Oh, well.
That was a lot of stuff.
Goodness gracious, it
To
was
be
a lot
fair,
of
I
stuff.
feel like we faded through actually.
I feel like we did. Yeah, we stopped a couple of times there as well, so.
Well, because Margaret, snooping on my secrets.
Oh my god, I wasn't snooping. They were right there,
snooping.
literally.
Snooping. She was looking through the lap. She was looking through, trying to. Where's the secrets? Do your best Gollum laugh.
Is there anything to update the people on?
Nah.
Kind of before? No. Well, we've had a few more streams since we last saw you.
Yeah, and they've been awesome. They've been
really
so good.
clean, fun.
Yesterday we did our first ever
Character creation
stream,
Yep.
and obviously we did the campaign update, which was awesome, and then we did some character creation with the chat.
It was so much fun.
And
it was so good.
Ideas and the things that get thrown around in that chat.
Oh
Because
my
obviously
God.
when it's on here, it's just you and me.
Yeah.
But like there was people saying things, and then we were like feeding off the people in the
oh my
chat,
God,
and
it
we were
was
feeding
so
off each
good.
other, and like people were making votes on, and it was awesome.
It was so good.
And we even went as far as to like somebody came in with like almost a finished story, and we were like, I don't really know what you need because like your story
is so good.
And they were like, well, I'll tell you what you could do. Can you help me with my stats? And we just broke down the stats properly, did point by. I did like the +2s and the +1s. And we thought about different ways to do it, and then they at least took it away, and they were like, you've done such a better job than I have.
Yeah, totally.
So even if it's your character's done, but you just want help with stats, we can do that.
Yeah, God, absolutely.
Or what feat to pick,
Absolutely.
or what like weapons or spells to start with, we can do those things.
Yeah.
as well.
Oh my God, it was so much fun.
So great.
And hey, was it a little unorganized from us? Yes. But going forward, is it going to be slightly more organized? Probably not.
But that's why you like us, apparently. A little bit of chaos.
Going into February, we are going to put out a stream schedule.
Yeah, I think the first few streams were sort of like
just working out what the fuck we were doing.
What we enjoyed doing on stream and stuff.
Totally.
So campaign update's going to be every Friday.
Yep.
We're going to be doing the homebrews on every Sunday.
Yep.
And then we're going to put like the things like the character creations
in between
and
somewhere,
like the D&D like mini games and things like that. And we're going to do something as well called, I don't know what we're going to call it yet.
Don't know.
But the idea is we take a famous hero, let's just say Gandalf.
Like D&D-ify instead of Yassify.
And we D&D-ify them. We make a level 1 character of Gandalf.
Yeah.
And we make them a magic item and stuff like that. And we can like have chat, tell us what they think,
well,
what characters and subclass they will be.
We did this last night for you seeing this now. Yeah, we would have done it last night. And also, the VODs are available. We've decided we're going to make every VOD for the time being available on Twitch. We will be making a new channel here, which we'll upload them onto at some point. I don't know when. But if you want to check that out and see if that's something you'd be interested in joining, take a look, see if you enjoy it.
You don't have a choice.
Oh,
the
no,
entity will make you come and watch our Twitch streams.
Oh my God, sorry.
And we go live every Friday and every Sunday at 7 p.m. GMT.
Yes,
so come and join us.
Yes. I think that's about it.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah.
We're doing some advice,
aren't we?
I'm helping you. Margaret's helping you.
You're helping me.
Yeah. You help me every day,
You help me every single day.
Reason to live.
So, yes, these are all advice submissions taken from our submission form. Again, I am still going through all the old ones, but once more, if you could just resubmit, that would be great. Yeah. With advice, we try to do some most recent ones and some older ones. Because you never know if something's like time pressing or not, etc., etc. But obviously, we film a week in advance, so keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind.
And I guess, should we just get into it?
Let's get it.
All right. Well, this one has been sent in by MB, and they go by he, they.
MB.
He, they. Huh?
MB.
Yes, MB. Michael
MB.
Bravo.
Michael Bravo.
Michael Bravo.
Very good.
He, they. Thank
you
you so much, MB. Do you like how I knew the phonetics?
Is M Michael?
I don't know, actually. Probably not. Motel?
Isn't
No, because H sounds like hotel. Michael.
Did you say hotel for me?
It sounds like motel, which sounds like hotel, which H is hotel, isn't it? M for Michael. Yeah.
Is it?
I don't know. You're going to have to find out now.
Okay, what's the...
Oh my God. Phonetic for M. God, if you're sat there screaming it at me, I don't want to hear it. I do want to hear it. Can you tell me? What is it? I think it is Michael.
It's Mike.
Mike.
It's Mike.
Mike.
It's
Yeah,
Mike.
M for Mike.
And that was Margaret's dad's name.
That was my dad's name. And hey,
Mike.
listen, they have a way to give you signs from beyond. I'll tell you that for free. So, hello again.
Mike Bravo.
Mike Bravo. I've submitted a few things, but I am still detailing out things for my first time DMing, so you may see a few more of these from me.
All
Absolutely
right.
not an issue
Ain't
at
no
all.
bother.
So I wanted to ask, how would you run a short campaign and or one shot? Without giving too much away for the squad blasters, who may be some of the first I DM for,
Ooh.
here are some questions. What level would be one? He hasn't put one, but one. What level would be good to start at?
Mhm.
And should I force them to already be a close group?
Mhm.
2. How do I make them have a connection in the world? I was considering having them make one or two NPCs for the world and the backstory, and allowing chances to meet up with them or something of that nature. And 3. How would a dynamic length work for one? Some players might figure out the mystery and end up beelining the main story quicker, and others may want to explore the world or need more hints. I don't want to give too much away for the story, but I really am doing my best. I may run this game with some other friends first before I bring it to groups on the Discord. I plan on hopefully running this short story for multiple groups over time, so people who aren't able to play longer ones can get some TTRPG mainlined into their veins. So note to all the blasters, don't spoil it for others during the story or after, please.
Yeah.
Oh, MB, what a wonderful sentiment, and thank you.
Yeah. Run it in the Discord.
Yeah, you've heard a few times us saying we're at a shortage of DMs in the Discord because your hands get absolutely bitten off so quickly.
There's a few games going up at the minute. Which is really nice to say.
First
question.
Yes, first question. What level would be good to start
Did
at?
MB say this is his first time DMing?
Yes.
Okay, let's keep it low.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep it low because, like, limiting. You don't want to limit too much, but you want to limit things that could, if you were level 10 and people have got
my God,
like a wide range of
multiple
spells
feats.
and loads of feats, then that's like loads of options that like make it hard to balance.
Absolutely.
So what I'm thinking is 2 options.
Mm-hmm.
Level 3,
Yep.
which is always good because that means everyone's got a subclass.
Yep.
So everyone has like their class and their flavor,
Yep.
and like they feel unique in a way.
Yep.
And
Second level spells.
Marshals only have 1 attack, but they have a subclass, which sort of makes that feel a bit better. The alternative is level 5.
Yes, that's also
Because
what I would have suggested too.
Spellcasters get 3rd level spells,
Yep.
so they've got like a little bit of variety.
A little bit of juice.
And marshals have second
attack, yeah.
which feels great. Everyone's got 1 feat.
And everyone has a feat.
Yeah.
Or an ASI bump. Yeah.
Both of them aren't going to be majorly hard to balance. So I would pick from 3 or 5, whatever you feel comfortable with.
Yep.
In terms of, what was the second one?
How do I make them have a connection to the world?
Okay.
You can just tell them, baby.
So in my one shot that I did recently, when it comes to one shots, like, players know that they have to get through it in one session, so they aren't so bothered about like exploring backstory and like meeting each other. If they're just all friends straight away,
totally,
that takes away like an hour
100%.
hour of meeting each other.
Which, to be honest, MB does answer the question: should I force them already to be a close group? And absolutely not forcing.
Totally
not forcing.
Just being like, for this one shot, you're a bunch of guards who are all in the same platoon.
Yep. Which is basically what you did for us, and it cuts out the awkward having to introduce yourselves, the awkward having to suss people out. Especially if you tell them beforehand, before they turn up, they can decide if they want to what kind of relationships they have
friendships
with each other.
they have with each other, who's closer to
to
who and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just like whatever your story is, just make it like that. They're going to a city because a wise wizard told them that the gem to all that is sacred lies beneath, and they are just a group of adventurers that all want to get that gem for whatever reason.
Yeah,
that's up to you. You tell me why you want the gem.
Yeah, you know about this thing.
Yeah.
Why are you going in? You're going in. Why are you going in? Type thing. Literally as simple as that. I think the most important thing for you, MB, is keeping it. When I say simple, I don't mean boring or like basic. I mean simple as in, keep the plot line quite simple, quite straightforward, not a lot of room to like deviate too much. Keep the leveling simple. 3 or 5, I would agree. 3 means everyone has a subclass. 5 means there's a feat and
a second attack for marshals.
For
3rd level spells for the others. And like Margaret said, it's like keeping it simple doesn't mean boring.
No,
it's just
God,
like,
no.
Just setting the, like, with a bit of a world primer, like mine for mine was, there's this beautiful city that is very religious and everyone wants to be there, and you are guards on like glens on the outside of it, and you love the city and you want to protect it. That's who you are. You all know each other.
Yep.
You're part of the guard.
Yep, totally.
And then, you know, like they all like understood sort of what was expected of them.
Exactly.
We're guards,
Exactly.
we love the city. We'd do anything to protect it.
Exactly.
Done.
Yeah. And, you know, you say you were considering having them each make 1 or 2 NPCs to the world. If you're happy doing that, if you're comfortable managing kind of like the backstories of those things, then potentially meeting it, that's something you want to do. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, if you want to.
You know, I feel like that isn't the key to making them feel more connected necessarily. But that adds an extra layer of backstory if you want to.
You know, if the player gets to see the NPC that they created, they can be like,
feels good. Yeah, it feels good. It feels good.
But I think personally, having everybody already know each other for a one shot is always easier.
Yeah, totally.
Because it doesn't eat into time of doing the adventure.
Absolutely, completely agreed.
In terms of them figuring something out in a one shot, you want that to happen.
You want them to.
You don't even want that to happen like too late.
Yeah.
You're talking about these things that happen. What you need to do is make it quite linear.
Yeah.
They can figure it out at any point. You drop the clues and they figure it out.
Yep.
But the things that are going to happen on the way.
Yeah.
They are obstacles in front of the end goal.
Yeah.
Obstacles in front of the mystery that they're going to find out.
Yeah. And, you know, I feel like, MB, it's important. You said, is it a short campaign or a one shot? Just work out which one you would rather do, right?
Because one shots have to be pretty concise.
One shots have to be concise, right? You have like maximum like 6-7 hours to get through a one shot. Like for most people, you know, that's just, you know, the basis I've seen. For something like that, you have to beeline it, basically. There can't be much room for deviation in something like that. If it's a short campaign, and it depends what length, are you talking like 4 sessions?
3-4 sessions.
Yeah, if that's the case, oh my God, absolutely.
You can be a little bit more nuanced
totally,
with the mysteries and the secrets.
Absolutely.
And you can be a little bit more cryptic, and then they can like unfold a little bit slower.
Absolutely.
But, you know, having your players, in a one-shot, having your players figure out the mystery like halfway through would feel great.
Oh God,
because
totally.
Like,
yes.
Right, now we've got a goal. Now we know where we need to go. Oh, but then this puzzle room is in the way. This monster is in the way. This NPC is in the way. It's like those are things that they can't avoid.
Yeah.
They can try and avoid it. And, you know, if they're successful, awesome. That feels great for them.
Yes.
But, you know, like, have the things that you want to happen in the way of the end goal.
Yeah, and, you know, you say like a dynamic length. Honestly, for something like a one-shot, I personally don't think a dynamic length would be satisfying for anyone. The people who want to explore more will be frustrated. The people who want to finish the one shot will be frustrated. There's a chance you might be frustrated. So for a one shot, I personally wouldn't recommend dynamic length. For something like a short campaign, yes, still not to the degree of a couple of players are at the end game and a couple of players aren't, because that feels bad for everyone. But, you know, you have more time to be dynamic in a short campaign.
And I think that it's absolutely okay to tell the party ahead of time. Like, when I did my one shot, I was like, this is a one shot. It's happening today.
Yeah, we're not fucking around.
It's finishing today.
Yeah.
Like, you will get everything done. Like,
totally.
Just so you know.
You set expectations,
And because of that, they were like really on point. And they were like, right, let's do this. Right, let's do this. Because they understood that they needed to get everything done in the session.
Yeah, exactly. So, exactly. Nothing wrong.
Being clear like that.
Yeah, this goes to everyone. Yeah. Any DM doing something like a one-shot, a short campaign, even a full campaign. There is nothing wrong with saying in the beginning, this is how this is going to go. I need you just to buy in.
Yeah.
I need you to kind of forego X, Y, Z and just get on with it. And hey, you play as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, suspend your disbelief for the one shot.
Which they will. Of course they will. I hope that helps, MB.
I hope that helps.
I really hope
and I hope to see your game up and running in the Discord.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
I'm very excited.
Yes, please. I don't know if it's already up and running, but if not, please take a look. Check the DM threads, and you might see a game from MB.
Looking for group channel in our Discord.
Yeah. I need to turn the heating on. 1 second. Okay, the heating's on.
The heating is on. We shouted at Alexa. She turned the heating on.
Yep. And I'm so sorry if you're playing that out in the room, and if we've awakened the beast. So sorry. You know what? I had a dream last night that you decided you wanted to change your campaign. You were like, "Oh yeah, I've got a different campaign that I'm going to do instead," and I was so upset because I didn't want to stop playing Blythe.
No.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't do that to you.
No. Sadness.
I can't wait to get into this campaign.
Oh, same. God,
3 sessions in.
Same. Oh my God, it's already heating up. Yep. Check the campaign updates every Wednesday if you want to see.
Number 2 will be out this week.
Yes. Okay, this next one. This has been sent in by Jess, and she goes by she, her.
Thank you very much, Jess.
Thank you, Jess. I hosted my first ever D&D session a couple of weeks ago as a first-time DM.
Awesome, well done.
Congratulations. I'm seeking some advice as I'm not sure if this is normal for D&D or whether my players are just annoying, haha.
Do you want to know what sometimes they are?
Sometimes they just do be like that, Jess.
Annoying.
So I start my campaign and they wake up in a camp with soldiers serving the goddess Salune. My PCs wake up and immediately one of them punches one of the NPCs and another one tries to pickpocket the NPC. Is this normal type of play in D&D or are my players just being twats? This was another occasion where they kicked a deep gnome for no reason as well. Thanks, love the podcast.
Okay, so let me just tell you right now that one of two things is going to happen with these players.
Yes.
Everyone gets really fucking excited for the beginning of a campaign.
Yeah.
Everyone has an idea of what their character is like.
Absolutely.
And they're like, I have to show who I am. I have to put a statement out there for who I am as my character. So early doors, some people do make rash decisions.
Yes.
And make maybe silly choices and things like that. It's like, you can be a pickpocketer and you can be someone who just likes to start with fights with everybody. That's really, really hard to maintain.
Yeah, and it's fucking annoying for everyone involved.
And it is fucking annoying for everyone involved. And I understand your frustration. So you can either do one or two things. You can either see if it continues, because it might not.
It very well could have just been like first session excitement.
People are nervous and excited.
Definitely.
And they do silly things sometimes in session one.
Yes.
Or you can nip it in the bud straight away and be like, that's quite hard to deal with as first time dungeon master.
Yeah.
And like pickpocketing and punching people for no reasons.
Yeah.
Quite extreme, and I wanted to take this quite seriously.
Yeah.
So just like, I want to know now sort of why.
Yeah.
And if it's going to continue.
Totally.
And how we can like manage it.
Yeah, Jess. Like, I know you said that you're the first time DM. Are your players first time players?
Sounds like first time player behavior.
Because if they are first time players, you have this new world open up to you and you go, I can do anything I want. And some people do this just because they can and just because it's funny in the moment.
And
right?
like Margaret said, like new players hear that like, D&D is something where you can just be yourself and do whatever you want.
Yeah, totally.
And they're like, well, I'm going to fucking rob everyone.
Exactly.
And I'm going to punch everyone in the face.
Exactly.
And it's
Exactly.
That, when they realize that the game is like more than that,
Yeah.
because it can be that, it can be surface level like that, and people can enjoy that, and that's fine. But if you're looking to run like a slightly like deeper, more meaningful game where we create bonds with NPCs and things like that, then this behavior isn't gonna fly.
Yeah, and I would say that, and if they're more experienced players, I especially would say like, you guys are doing this, and that's really not the vibe. Like, I want to take it more seriously. And, these actions do have consequences. So
you're a player too. You need
oh
to
my god,
enjoy it.
100%. You have to enjoy it, Jess. And I'm, it doesn't sound like it bothered you too much, but you're saying they're just being annoying, and there's a chance they might be. Nothing wrong with just nipping it in the bud, like Jack says, and just saying to them like, you guys are doing this like. Is it because you want a certain thing out of the game? Because this is how I'm going to run the game. Absolutely nothing wrong with saying that.
Yeah.
In fact, I suggest you do say that.
I agree.
I suggest you move. Sorry.
That's from Valorant. If anyone's a harbour main, which I
no one's a harbour
very
main.
much doubt. What I would say is, if that was your first session,
that was a good impression.
That was a very good impression. That was very good.
Thank you.
If that was your first session and you're awaiting a second session, see how the second session goes, because they might just not do it again.
Absolutely.
And then it's sound.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
But if you have the second session and then it happens again, then you can be like, okay, let's try.
I think it's important to have these conversations like straight out of the gate, right? Like, if you immediately set the tone saying like, listen, this is how it's going to go. I've told you now, let's work on it. And, if they continue, then you kind of have your answer. And I think it's important as well to like show as the DM, like you are willing to have these conversations. I think, I really hope for you it was just like, just a bit of fun.
Yeah, just a bit of just like a little bit of first game nerves, a little bit of first time player.
Because we've all been there. Trust me, we've all been there.
We've all done silly things like that.
Oh my god, we really have.
Seen things happen on screen and from actual players and been like, I want to recreate exactly that.
And it's hard.
It's hard, especially for a first time dungeon master. God. So it's hard.
100%. I hope that helps, Jess.
I hope that helps, Jess.
Yes.
And you are definitely not alone.
I was gonna say send in a follow-up. I'll never read them. You know what? I'm so sorry. Every single time I go to do an advice video, I'm like, I should go through the follow-ups, but I get so caught up.
We should read the follow-ups on stream.
You know what? We should read the follow-ups on stream.
That'll be a great one.
Yeah, like, honestly, because we've had so many issues with the submission form of my own admission, I get caught up in finding them, and I forget to check the follow-ups.
We'll do some follow-ups on stream.
And listen, some of the follow-ups are from so long ago. Like, it's not that they're not relevant, because they're always relevant, but it's like, I don't know how to bring them up because they were so long ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, send in a follow-up. I won't read it.
We will on stream.
on stream.
So you'll have to be
I think
there.
that's a good idea. Okay, so this next one, this has been sent in by Megan, and she goes by she, her.
Thank you very much, Megan.
Thank you,
for
Megan.
your submission.
So our D&D group just got back together after our winter/holiday break. Our party has had a bit of restructuring last semester, with 2 members leaving it, and it left me being the only female at the table and also in the party. The last 2 sessions in the fall were like that, and I didn't see a big issue, but all of that changed this past session. So our DM, who I will add is my boyfriend, decided that there was going to be a year time skip from our last session. I wanted all of us to come up with some things that our PCs have done in that time. The majority of us said simple things like the Kenku rogue tried to learn how to fly, or my druid/bard made picture books for the barbarian. But then there was the Oathbreaker paladin. He decided he wanted to have his companion gremlin transition from male to female and do the infamous roll for size. When the DM brought that up to me, I told him immediately no, and that I did not feel comfortable playing with that being a thing. Because OB Paladin already uses his gremlin as the butt of the joke, and by having them become a woman, I just knew that there would be jokes about both women as well as the transgender community. DM also turned Oathbreaker Paladin down on his request. When it came to our actual session and we all began saying what we were all doing that year, Oathbreaker Paladin still tried everything to make it a thing and brought up how much he wanted to roll for size, which then made the entire joke of the session and left me feeling very uncomfortable. So how do I go about bringing this sort of situation up to the DM? I don't want it to seem like I'm getting special attention from the DM, since I am in a relationship with him and I am enjoying the campaign and my PC so much. But if the sausage fest continues, I don't know how I'm going to be able to continue and have fun. Oh, Megan, hey, listen. I know exactly how that feels. And I'm not speaking about my D&D campaign. I never felt like that in our D&D campaign. But hey, any woman and anyone presenting as such knows exactly what this feeling is. Knows the feeling of being the only girl and unfortunately being the butt of the joke a lot of the time and being uncomfortable in literally a sausage fest. So just know, Megan, I'm feeling you there, and I'm sure so many people who watch are as well.
Yeah. I think that the whole special treatment thing, I don't think it applies at all here, and I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you how you can combat it if that comes up.
Yeah.
The fact that you're feeling an ick has nothing to do with the fact that your boyfriend's a DM.
Gone nothing, yeah.
Literally.
How could it ever be?
Literally nothing to do with you feeling uncomfortable, you having an ick, has anything to do with the fact that your boyfriend is the DM.
Yeah.
You feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Rightfully so, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Rightfully so. Yeah, I would as well.
This is, first of all, it's not funny.
First of all,
at all.
Boring.
Yeah, like the most boring ass fucking lame bullshit humor. So I think you just go to your boyfriend, and you could even just go to the group and be like, "This is giving me the ick."
Oh yeah. Oh my God. This makes me feel uncomfortable.
And I'm feeling uncomfortable. Is there any chance we can just like not do it, and like just drop that joke, because I don't want it to become a thing. But for me, it is becoming a thing, and I just want to like stop that now.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you feel about like maybe going to your boyfriend and saying like, if you want to, can we find another player who's a girl?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I know, like you said, we played with me as the DM.
Yeah.
Josh, who was a friend of mine since like I was 11 years old.
Yeah.
Matthew, who has been a friend of yours since like God knows how long.
I was a teenager. Yeah.
And you.
Yeah. And again, never went through anything like this with the group. But, there was always, and I've spoken about this before, there was always the feeling of being the only girl.
Yeah,
and
of course, because you were.
Not being able to have people relate to me in the same way that having another woman at the table would be able to relate to me.
Because it's impossible.
Yeah.
And like, even, like, we are, in terms of like guys, we're very, I don't want to be like not the typical guys, but we are very, conscious of the
Yeah,
fact
no,
that
yeah,
you
yeah,
are
yes,
the only
absolutely.
woman and
Yes,
stuff like that. And we
absolutely.
don't make those sorts of
No.
fucking rad, weird jokes
No,
that
you
make
don't.
everyone uncomfortable. We just
No.
don't do that. But, Margaret having Abby came in,
Even
though there was not a problem, just immediately made you feel better.
It very much did.
So,
it really very much did.
If you want something like that, just look for a new player.
Yeah,
advertise for a new player.
Yeah, totally. And
a new girl player.
That is something you would have to run past your DM and something that would have to be run past the
Mm-hmm.
group. But, to go back to what Jack said about, like, I don't want to seem like I'm getting special attention. I think a really good way to look at it is exactly like Jack said. How does him being my boyfriend change the situation? Because if it doesn't, then it's nothing to do with that.
Like, the fact that your Dungeon Master is your boyfriend isn't making you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah,
What's making you feel uncomfortable
Yeah.
is the fact that this person's making weird jokes that are making you feel uneasy.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with the fact that your partner is the Dungeon Master.
Nothing. And Megan, if you've listened to any of these before, you'll have heard of stories where the partners do give preferential treatment to the partners, and and it's always very much in game. It's very mechanical.
Yeah, it's usually very mechanical,
and it's normally very horrible. Listen, you having your own feelings and being made to feel uncomfortable by someone else at the table, nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with the fact that your partner is
nothing to do with that.
Is the Dungeon Master.
And you know what? If anyone is trying to make that an issue, and I'm not sure if they are, then the issue is with them.
Yeah, 100%.
Not with you, and you shouldn't have to explain yourself.
I will tell you what, though. I remember in our first campaign, like, you would come and be like, oh, well, if my next magic item can I have this? Because I'm more than happy to take requests for magic items and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you did have a narrative in your head sometimes of being like, I don't want you to feel like if I'd ever do something like nice to you, like I would do for anyone at the table,
Yeah.
somebody would be like, oh, Jack, I didn't mean to do that, and I want to do this on my turn. Can I undo it? Like, it would only be you who would be like, you don't have to do that for me.
It's a subconscious thing. It is very much so.
Because, I treat everybody at my table very
Yes,
fairly.
you do, very much so.
And the fact that Margaret is my partner doesn't come into play at all.
Yeah.
Like, I treat everybody the same.
Yeah.
But, it's very common.
And it's always in the back of your head. I know it is, Megan. I know it is.
As the player and your partner is the Dungeon Master, to think that other people are thinking that, but they're not.
Yeah, totally. Like, nothing wrong. I genuinely, hey, if you're struggling to find the words to say it, show this to your boyfriend. Show this to your DM. Like, it's not okay for you to feel uncomfortable at the table. And again, it sounds like it's just some lame fucking boring ass jokes. And hey, there's nothing wrong with saying as well, by the way, things like transphobia have fucking no place in the game.
Especially
no
not
place.
At our table.
Especially not. So,
and the thing is, it's like, because I don't think the transphobia has happened yet.
Yeah,
you're just like
anticipating
foreshadowing.
Of course.
But like, we have brains.
Yeah.
Well, most of us do.
Well,
maybe not this person.
No.
Most of us have brains, and we can logically see where things are going to go.
I agree. And it's patterns of behavior.
We have like a sixth sense to be like, I can tell this is going.
I know that this is the path.
This is going to become
down.
like racist. This is going to become homophobic, and you sort of get like your spidey sense start tingling, and you're like, we're very close to having a problem here.
Yeah,
and
definitely. Yeah,
yours are going off, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Honestly, nothing wrong with that. In terms of like the sausage fest thing, I'm so sorry, Megan. I know how that feels.
I would definitely just speak to the dungeon, speak to your partner first. And then if your partner's like, I'd be happy to take on another player.
Yeah.
Because, ultimately that's up to the Dungeon Master.
Yeah. Like, is there, and when you say that, is it the problem being the Sausage Fest, or is it being like the Oathbreaker Paladin?
The behavior of one of the Sausage Fest members.
Exactly. Because if that's the issue, that's very easy to draw that distinction and be able to be like, okay, it's the person, not the group.
Yeah. And what you could do is you could try and get this problem solved first, the Oathbreaker Paladin problem solved first. And then if you're still feeling that way,
absolutely,
then you can be like, I think I do want another
absolutely.
Another female
yeah,
player,
totally. So I hope that helps, Megan. Again, a sympathy for you. I'm sure, a lot of people have it for you, but their behavior is not okay.
No,
yeah, and that's the lamest, boringest shit ever.
Just like jokes like that, just
so boring, lame.
Boring.
Come on,
man,
grow up.
Like, grow up.
Just grow up.
Jesus Christ, people used to make jokes like that when I was in fucking school.
I know. All right, this next one. This has been sent in by Aaron, and he goes by he, him.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron. This is a slightly longer one, so
Wonga.
slightly longer one.
Slightly longer.
Slightly longer. So please bear with me. Hello, I've been catching up on the Podblast from episode 1 for the past few months, and I've been having a blast.
That's a lot of Eldritch Podblast.
Oh,
you've
thank
just watched.
you, Aaron. I have laughed so many times out loud in my car during my commutes alongside you guys. As a gay person, it's so refreshing to see allies like yourselves being stewards for a wholesome D&D community. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Aaron. We're so glad you're here.
I'm glad you're here.
And we're so glad that you feel comfortable here.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing to us.
The most important thing.
Anyway, let's talk about why I'm submitting. I played D&D with my best friends for nearly a decade. With my best friends of nearly a decade, sorry. We have a lot of fun and we treat each other with respect. 3 of us are novice DMs, including myself. I DM'd first. Someone's got to bite the bullet, right?
Yeah. It do have to be one of you.
It do have to be. And I ran a short and sweet 11-session Wild Beyond the Witchlight campaign.
Hey.
Now my friend, let's call her R, has been DMing a homebrew campaign for her first go around being the DM. We started this game probably about 2 years ago, but we have only just had our 5th session a few weeks ago. We live in the same state.
2 years ago?
Yeah. Well, we live in the same state, but we are 2 hours apart and we play in person. So I feel like, listen, that's still really not, pardon me, not a lot of sessions. 5 and 2 years. But
2.5 sessions a year.
You know, I understand if you're 2 hours apart. I understand that a bit more. Basically, my issue is R seems to have a knee-jerk reaction of wanting to nerf me and my fellow players in the name of balance. There are 4 players, but so far only myself and 1 other player have been affected. I'm playing an adorable but deadly 3.5-foot tall owlin named Strig. He's an arcane trickster rogue whose only goal is to make enough gold to provide for his little brother after they've, of course, been orphaned. F's in the chat for Strig. My friend, we'll call them Z, is playing the illustrious Moon Druid. To keep it brief, R told Z in a previous session that they could only have half their wild shape HP during an encounter with goblins. R told Z this in the middle of the combat, out of the blue, with no prior discussion. R has since apologized for this and removed the stipulation from the game, citing their inexperiences for the reason they implemented it. Fair enough.
Fair enough. Being honest, that's very good of you.
Yeah. For my part, R and I, you know what? I will just say DM instead of R going forward, just because I will confuse myself.
Yes.
DM and I have discussed how my bonus action hide feature works in the middle of combat. We agree that it does seem a bit silly to stab someone and then run behind a rock and hiding, as if they don't know I'm there. But I feel that cunning action is a core rogue feature, and I want to be able to utilize it in a way that feels fair for player and DM. And as you guys have said on the Podblast, give your rogues their sneak attack.
Give your rogues their sneak attack.
Also, DM says that my Booming Blade cantrip may tip off the target that moving will cause them more damage. The spell doesn't say that the target understands the nature of the spell they're under, but DM argues that the target would feel pressure and know not to move with a successful roll. During a text thread where we were debating this, she pulled out the, I'm the DM, so it will work how I say it works. She did apologize very soon after that comment, but I was taken aback nonetheless. It just feels like my abilities are being devalued instead of the enemies being strengthened to meet their ever-elusive balance. Any advice on how to run hiding during combat, and if Booming Blade's effects could be deduced, would be very much appreciated. The entity sends its regards. Oh, I'm so glad you caught up with the entity, Aaron.
Sends their regards.
Oh, I'm glad that you and the entity are like that now.
So, you are very right. And do you want? So, man, there's a few things here. There's a few things going wrong here. The Moon Druid HP nerf in the middle of combat.
Yeah,
absolute no.
Wrong. But to be fair, DM to their credit did say, she said, "Listen, I'm sorry about
fair
that."
Dues.
Yeah.
The whole hiding thing. What you need to understand is that without that function, you become. Yeah. It may not seem it right now, but later in the game, when you don't get a third attack,
absolutely,
the whole thing.
Well, you don't get a second attack, bitch.
You do as a bonus action.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
You get a second attack as a bonus action, but that's if you use your second attack as a bonus action.
If you don't use it for something like hiding.
Yeah, and you can take feats to get that extra attack. and things like that. So,
totally.
There is ways to get the second attack.
Yes,
later in the game, when you don't have a way to get more than 1 or 2 attacks, you're hinging everything
on being able to
getting advantage.
Yes.
Because you need that attack to hit.
Absolutely.
Because all of your extra damage, where it doesn't come in extra attacks, comes in sneak attack damage.
Absolutely.
So,
God, absolutely.
Yes, it may seem fucking stupid right now, and it may seem strong right now, but later in the game, it will balance out.
Yeah.
So, there is one thing that I will say is when I'm running rogues, and I do
which is relevant because we have a rogue now,
and we had a rogue last campaign with Matthew.
Oh my god, yeah, sorry, of course. Oh my god,
you have to have something to hide behind.
Yes,
like there, and I will always build terrain for you, and maybe there will be a map where there isn't any terrain, and that's the one where you maybe struggle, and you have to find different ways to do things. It's like, but yes, there has to be something for you to hide behind, and you have to roll a successful stealth check.
Yes.
And it is against the passive perception of the enemy. Mm-hmm. So yes, if you put loads into stealth, 99% of the time
you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine.
But there are going to be a few times where you roll a natural one.
Yeah, and that's part of the game.
And you aren't stealthed, and then you don't get
the advantage.
But that means you can use your bonus action to use your extra attack.
Indeed.
Or you can hide at the beginning of your turn.
Yeah.
So, like, yes, it seems a bit weird now at low levels, but as the game goes on, it will rear its head if you try and nerf it.
God,
so send your dungeon master that.
Yeah, no, very much agreed. Yeah.
In terms of the booming blade,
I
would say it depends on the intelligence of the enemy.
Yes.
Because, some intelligent enemies might, with a successful check,
especially like arcane ones.
Might understand that I probably can't move here, I'm going to take damage.
Yeah.
But sometimes they have to because there's nothing else they can do.
Yeah.
If it's a really stupid enemy and they're doing things like that, then I don't think that's fair.
Yeah, agreed. And I feel like that is something that is, again, it's hard because it really is up to DM discretion. And as you've said, she's already kind of said, like, listen, this is how I'm ruling it. So this is a really hard one because I feel, honestly, for all of you in this situation. Like, she obviously feels like she's struggling to balance something, right? And, that's not for us to be able to stipulate on, but I feel for all of you. But listen, the hiding thing, and I know you're saying, like, yeah, no, it doesn't make sense, me being able to stab someone and run behind a rock, but that's what your class is made for.
That's what your class is made for.
I know, thematically and realistically, does that make sense? Probably not, but sometimes you have to suspend your disbelief for things like this.
Yeah,
in order to use your abilities.
It's a game and it has mechanics, and those mechanics are what makes things powerful and like underpowered and things like that. And if you are a melee rogue, let's just say you are a melee rogue, you sometimes might have to use that bonus action to disengage.
Indeed.
So then you can't use the bonus action to hide. So it's just a balancing act. And as your dungeon master, if they are new, will, see these things like happen as they go. And when you've also got to understand about Booming Blade is yes, it might be strong right now, but it's a cantrip.
Yeah,
and
I know.
The maximum it's probably ever going to scale is to 3d8, and that's if they move.
Yes, exactly.
So
exactly.
It may feel strong today.
Yes,
but as we level up and enemies become stronger, it won't even it won't even be a problem.
I suppose some questions to think about when you're talking about the hide feature, right? Is she ruling it? You have to roll for it, right? Or is she just letting you hide? Because if she's just letting you hide, okay, I completely understand why that can be really difficult to balance, right?
I always make my rogues.
Yeah.
Because, first of all, they get to see big, massive number with their expertise in stealth if they do it, which makes them feel good.
Yeah.
And also for the Dungeon Master, sometimes they fail.
Exactly. Is she giving you a DC to meet? And, whether it's the passive perception, something that she makes up in her head, etc.
An active perception check.
Exactly.
It's up to you how you do it.
Yeah, exactly. Is she doing that? Because if not, that is definitely the way to do it,
100%.
Right? Because then, like you said, sometimes you can fail. In terms of the maps, is she putting... Like Jack said, is she building it to consider the fact that you want to hide? Does she set up the stipulation of you have to hide behind something? You can't just hide behind Nout.
Agreed.
And if that's the case, she can tailor the maps to, if she needs you to not be able to do sneak attack damage on a certain map, yes, she can make it harder for you.
She can make it more difficult for you. And then you've got to use your brain.
Exactly, but not all the time.
No, but not
every now and then.
Because then that feels stinky doodly butt cheeks.
Those are some questions I would ask, and I would consider if those are the things. And if not, God, suggest them to her.
Yeah. And, it might be that, I don't know, let's just say that it's in, a circular room and the enemy is, dead center. And the only thing that you can hide behind is, 35 feet away. And you have to then not use like your melee weapon that does more damage. You have to do less damage with like a throwing knife, but that's the chance to get your sneak attack and still be able to hide. It's like using the map to create not problems, but like use your brain to think about how I'm going to tactically go about this map.
Totally, yeah.
And that's the way to do it.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, being honest with her, Aaron, and being like, look, it feels like everything in my class that I've picked that, we agreed I could be is being devalued, and like, let's work out a way together for you to be able to, like, if you're worried about balance, let's work out a way that we can both work together so we can both enjoy it.
And then the cantrip, like some enemies could be resistant to thunder damage.
Yeah,
then,
exactly.
Which makes Booming Blade like a little bit less.
Yeah.
Maybe, they don't move. Maybe they teleport. So then technically they're not getting hurt by the Booming Blade. It's like there's loads of ways as a dungeon master to make these problems go away. And you don't want them to go away every time because that feels bad. But, this one can teleport, so it doesn't take any damage from Booming Blade. And you're like, that's okay because next time it will.
Yeah.
Like, instead of nerfing our players, we find creative ways as a dungeon master. And, that's okay for me to say as a seasoned dungeon master. But, that's why we're here. And that's why we're imparting the knowledge upon you.
Indeed. Yeah, no, indeed. Rogues, you should be getting a sneak attack. And should be allowed to hide.
If you're taking away a bonus action hide, like, that's a fucking
feels really
fundamental of... that's the only way they get to hit.
Yeah, it feels bad.
With advantage.
Yeah. I really hope that helps. And I feel for all of you in this situation. Yeah. And I know that there is a way that you can meet in the middle 100%. And this can be sorted out. I know that for a fact.
I've seen bigger mistakes.
God,
I've seen far bigger mistakes.
100%.
And if you talk your dungeon master through why maybe it feels bad or why maybe it might seem strong right now, they might be like, yeah, you're right. I don't need to worry about it. Let's just play the game.
Exactly. 100%. Exactly.
Hopefully that helps.
Hope that helps, Aaron. I really hope that helps.
I hope it helps.
Sending you good luck. All of you.
I send you all of the good luck.
Yes, indeed. All right. This next one has been sent in by Anonymous, and she goes by she, her.
Thank you very much, Anonymous.
Thanks, Anonymous.
For your submission to our podcast. I like how you say names and then you look at me waiting for me to thank the submission.
Yeah, of course.
You okay? You want to take a drink?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
A little bit of ASMR.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I have a sore throat. I think I'm getting a bit sick.
No.
All right. Rule of cool is not an excuse to throw all rules out the window, and you shouldn't DM for your partner using rule of cool to give them blatant favoritism. I'm playing in a homebrew campaign where we have a druid, a wizard, a barbarian, a cleric, and a bard. Our DM is dating the cleric for about 3 months. Unfortunately, it is impacting the game and making it really awkward. As a bard, I work hard to use specific spells in order to give advantage or disadvantage to other players during combat, such as vicious mockery and blindness. This makes me feel useful and makes the game fun for me because everyone gets excited when I manage to blind who we are fighting or using forced movement to get villains away from us.
There ain't much like a support character like getting off a hold person or getting off something like psychic lance which like incapacitates or restrains or something, and then all of the melees around the table go
just wail on him. Yeah, feels real good, real good.
Feels great.
However, our DM is giving out advantage randomly during combat for no reason, and it has been noticed that it is usually to our cleric. This feels like my role is useless and takes away the usefulness of my spells. He also whispers lots of stuff to her during the game, which he says is feeding her information for the game, but he will do it whilst we are role-playing, which interrupts the flow of things. We're a couple of new players, and in my opinion, more time should be spent supporting them rather than giving the cleric free hits as a reaction for forced movement. Last game, my character and hers got in a discussion about how my group of rebels are no better than the institution we are trying to take down. And after some great role-playing, he gave her inspiration for coming up with some great arguments, and not even a nod to me.
Man's I hate inspiration.
It feels like he has made the campaign for her, and we are all just backup characters. Some advice on how to deal with this would be helpful, because it doesn't feel like he is... It doesn't feel like he is... He doesn't feel like he is being biased, and he can't see any issues with the way he chooses to make decisions, citing rule of cool instead.
Okay.
Man, yeah, this is... Man, earlier, was it Jess?
Yes.
When we were like, hey, listen.
There is favoritism, but like what you're going through, there's no favoritism.
Yeah,
there. This, on the other hand, from what we're being told, and from this perspective, that's favoritism.
That is absolutely favoritism. Yeah.
Like, giving like forced movement, like reaction, attack of opportunities when that's not a rule and probably doesn't happen for anyone else feels bad.
Yeah.
Giving them like information during roleplay feels bad. And then this is why I fucking hate inspiration.
I know, same.
Because, like,
same.
Yeah, we have a beautiful roleplay moment between two people.
Yeah.
And then the dungeon master, from their perspective, from what they know about the campaign, from, you know, how they look at the argument, they're like, oh, it was a really good argument, you can have inspiration. And the other players sat there like
well, I was part of that too, and
I did that too.
It feels bad. It feels bad. Giving inspiration, like, specifically for like role play moments, is a really fine line.
And I've said it before, like, let's just say last session I give Margaret some inspiration for some brilliant roleplay, and then we start off the next session and Matthew does some brilliant roleplay. But because I'm not in that I'm giving out inspiration mindset,
sometimes you just miss it.
And Matthew's like, why didn't I get inspiration?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Feels bad.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And, you know, that's kind of beside the point. But
beyond that,
yeah.
So there is, I don't think, any other way to do this other than a conversation.
Agreed.
Whether you want to have it with the dungeon master alone, or whether you want to have it with the dungeon master and their partner, which I don't think is the way to do this.
No, I don't think so.
Or you want to have
either.
it as a whole group, which might be the way to do it after the talk with the dungeon master.
Agreed. The thing, I think, definitely have it with just the dungeon master, and then have a group conversation after the fact if you need to, because I feel like, unfortunately, if everyone else is feeling it with you, OP, which they are
probably
like
probably
it could feel like you're dogpiling on them if you all kind of talk to them. But I think if you just have a one-on-one with this DM and just say, look, I don't think you're meaning to do this, and we don't think it's intentional, but think back over the last few games and think back to all the times you gave just her advantage. Think about the times that you let her do things. Like, think to yourself, have you let us do anything like that? And
have those specifics at hand.
Totally. Because, oh my God, have examples.
It's really tough when you're like, well, I can't think right now. It's like, go into this like with, I don't want to say ammunition because that sounds horrible.
With receipts.
But with receipts, like, you know, you gave them this forced move attack of opportunity, but then it happened to me and you didn't give it to me.
Yes, exactly.
Well, having roleplay and you gave them information about this thing that I didn't have, and then you gave them inspiration when you didn't give it to me. It's just like, there's a few instances here where I feel like naturally, because they're your partner and you're dating.
Yes,
like,
it comes more natural to you to do those things.
You do those things because you want to be nice to them. It's just like, but while you're doing that,
it makes us feel bad.
We're feeling left out.
Yeah, and you know, I suppose, OP, you have to think: is the change everyone gets to have those things, or no one gets to have those things?
I think that's up to the dungeon master.
Totally,
but but the thing is, because it doesn't really matter as long as there's fair treatment.
I agree.
Everyone gets it, great. No one gets it, great.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter as long as we're all being treated the same.
Yep. Just say like, could we please have like either no one has it or everyone has it, like, because it feels terrible. Yeah. It feels really, really
dreadful.
Really bad. Yeah. Like, and you know, the randomly whispering during the game, like during role play moments, feels bad.
So bad.
That feels so bad.
It doesn't even matter what they're whispering. It's just like,
and you could say that, be like, you know, like, it doesn't matter.
I don't even care what you're saying.
Yeah, but it just feels bad.
Feels weird,
and it makes it feel like there is a connection like between you two in the game that none of us have with you, and it feels bad.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely categorically nothing wrong with saying that. Is absolutely what I would suggest.
100%.
Saying
100%.
Definitely you need to have a talk with your DM.
100%.
Because, you know, apart from that advice on how to deal with this, listen, from your perspective, there's nothing that you can do that would make it better for you at all.
The conversation with the dungeon master is how you make this, how you make the situation better.
And again, does not have to be a confrontational thing. Does not have to be a mean thing.
It has to it needs to be like, I'm enjoying it and I want to have this conversation.
Yeah, because I love playing this game with you.
I want the campaign to continue.
Totally.
And I want to like have the story like play out and stuff, and all the backstories.
And, you know, say like, I know you're not doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
Like that's not the case, and you're obviously not realizing that you're doing this. Give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah,
totally.
I agree.
Totally. I hope that helps, OP. That's really...
That's a bit of a tough one, really.
It is a tough one.
You know, if you go for that conversation and you have that conversation and then the DM's still like, no, I don't, then it's like, what can you do?
Yeah.
Because you can't really do anything at that point.
Like, don't do a one-on-one. Don't dogpile on them. Suggest maybe everyone talking to the group. Get it out in the open. It'll be awkward at first, but it will feel better.
It'll be awkward at first, but you need to make sure that you do say like, I'm not coming at this from any other place than like,
I just want it to be fair for everyone.
I just want it to be fair, and I love this game, and I want it to succeed.
Exactly. And, you know, you'll know. We say this every time. You'll know based on what they say, based on their reaction. You'll know what your next steps forward are.
Yeah.
Like, you'll know.
Whether it's leaving or, everything changes in its grace, which is what I hope happens.
Same. Yes,
you.
same. They might just not realize.
Might just not realize, yeah.
Yeah, indeed. Hope that helps. Or P, please keep us updated. Keep us updated, and I won't read your follow-up.
No, we will on stream.
Yes.
Join us on stream, Twitch.
Yes.
7 p.m. GMT, Friday and Sunday.
All right. Oh my goodness. This next one, this has been sent in by Adam Smiley 96, and he goes by he, him. Hey, Adam. Adam is one of our VOD blasters who hosts watch parties.
Stream frequenters.
Yes, thank you so much, Adam. What's just some fun general advice you want to give about anything related to D&D to the people in the community? What is the biggest advice? Why can't I read? What is the biggest piece of advice you could give? Short and sweet, nice and simple.
I will give some Dungeon Master advice.
Yep.
And the advice is purely chill the fuck out. I have to tell it to myself all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's expecting you to be Peter Jackson, who's giving the cinematic fucking telling of this grand adventure.
Yeah.
They know you are Jack, who has
their pal.
a fucking job, who's their mate,
who's a normal human being,
who's doing a podcast, who's Twitch streaming, who's running his own business and things like that. They understand that you are a person. All they care about is turning up and playing Dungeons and Dragons with their friends.
Yep.
If you look around the table and everyone's got a fucking smile on their face, and when you do a reveal, everyone's going, oh, "You're doing a great job."
Yep.
And you need to just take that weight of expectation off your shoulders, because the weight of expectation is only there for you and no one else.
Totally.
No one is expecting half as much
from
you as you are from yourself.
No one is judging you.
Yeah.
No one is looking at what you're doing with your monsters. First of all, no one knows.
No one has a fucking clue what's going on behind that screen.
No one knows what you're doing, so no one is judging you. No one has a set expectation. No one wants anything from you apart from you to have fun and them to have fun.
Because when you're having fun as a dungeon master, your players are having fun. If you're telling a story you enjoy, your players are enjoying it.
Yeah.
When you come to Dungeon Master every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, whatever the fuck it is, if you sit down and you go, "I'm ready," and this is going to be good, your players will feel that too.
Yep.
So we clapped off.
Sorry.
You're about to say something. I said, when you sit down at the table on a Monday, Tuesday.
Oh yes, and you haven't underplanned. You haven't overplanned.
Nope.
Your planning is just fine. Yes, it might need some tweaking.
Yes,
but you know what?
You might have planned too much this week, and next week you don't have to plan that much.
You'll learn as you go.
You will.
You'll learn as you go.
Yeah.
Listen, you don't know how to do anything the first time you do it. Nope. The second time, the third, the 15th, the 20th. It takes time.
It takes time.
And when you're a DM, you have to manage what you're doing, and then you have to manage what your players are doing.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna know how everyone does everything until you're quite late in the game.
Yeah, 100%.
So don't worry about 100%.
It. Yeah. And just have some fun.
Yeah.
Just like make sure you're enjoying yourself. And another piece of advice is, if you're not enjoying yourself, then don't do it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Like,
oh my god. 100%.
If you're dreading DMing every week, you're either in the wrong campaign.
Yep.
Got the wrong players.
Yep.
Not enjoying the story.
Yep.
Or you just fucking hate being a DM.
Oh my god.
So stop doing it.
Totally. Yeah, totally. Like, my piece of advice is kind of just a general piece for everyone, is no D&D is better than bad D&D.
100%.
That is 100% the piece of advice. If I ever only got to give one piece of advice, it's, and kind of follows on from what you're saying. If you're not enjoying it, if you find out that you're dreading it, if you don't like the way someone's treating you, so the themes in a game, you don't enjoy the game, you don't like the numbers, you don't like the role play, there is nothing wrong with going, "Hey, this isn't for me.
This isn't for me."
There's nothing wrong with that. And I feel like a piece of advice that kind of comes off the back of that is, just because you don't enjoy D&D with that group of people doesn't mean you don't enjoy D&D. Mm-hmm. It just means that group isn't the right group for you.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
Normally, your first group is not your forever group.
Most of the time.
Sometimes it can take a few groups and a few games to understand truly what you like in D&D. Yeah. You might go into it being like, "I'm going to love the combat." And then you find out, actually, you love the roleplay, or vice versa. You might have a DM that runs things in a completely different way to what you enjoy, and you will not know until you actually experience it. But ultimately, no D&D is better than bad D&D.
Good advice.
Do not let a bad game sour your time here on Earth.
Yeah.
Don't let it. Like,
we do enough things that we fucking despise when we go to work.
Totally.
And when we have to fucking see family that we don't like, and we have to do all these social commitments that we don't want to do.
Yeah.
When we get to sit down and play Dungeons and Dragons, it's because we want to.
Yes.
And if you don't have that, something needs to change.
Yeah. Remember, you're doing it for fun. You're playing a game with your friends for fun.
With your friends and your mates.
And if you're not having fun, that's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
let's just find a different game where we do have fun.
100%.
Let's switch up DMs, see if somebody else enjoys it. Because I don't.
Totally. My God, totally.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's it.
That's what I'd say.
That's what I would say.
Thank
you, Adam. What a great question. What a lovely question. And hey, you guys watching, you know what D&D is. You're in the community. Do you have any advice you would give just generally to people? I'd like to hear it. I'd like to know.
In the comments down below.
Yeah, I'd like to know. Genuinely, I'd like to know what piece of advice, the biggest piece of advice you would give is. Thanks, Adam.
Cheers, Adam.
Thank you. Hope you're doing well. All right, this next one. Oh, this is the second to last.
Okay.
I feel like we blasted through them last ones. This is the second to last, and this has been sent in by Spiritual Rogue, or Kyle, and he goes by he, him.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you so much, Kyle. Good to see you. Good day once again, Jack and Margaret, back again for some quality advice. This time, it'll be a little lighter in tone, lol. Good to
Hey, look.
I'm happy. I'm glad for you.
Yeah. That's
I'm
good
glad
for you.
I'm
but we
glad
don't
for you.
mind.
Yeah. I run a homebrew campaign for one of my groups, and this will be the 3rd year of the campaign IRL time. Hopefully, this year will also bring this story to a close as well. And now that I have had the broad strokes of the remainder of a story plotted out, I found my brain wandering to new ideas for fresh stories and settings. So here, I would like your perspective or ideas. I find beginnings extremely hard to create. As a DM, how do you, Jack, go about finding an engaging starting point? And Margaret, as a player, what do you enjoy about a beginning quest, if anything? I've started campaigns of the party being on the same travelling cart, in a tavern, etc., but it feels clunky, and I'm not sure it was fun to play through. Could be that I was just inexperienced and I should trust my storytelling now, but I'd love to hear any advice on crafting an engaging opening scenario / quest, even though it's likely a while of seeing play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. One thing I will say to you, Spiritual Rogue, and one thing I will say to you, Kyle, is you felt like that, as you just expressed there.
Yeah.
I felt like they were slow and clunky. And not Ask your players.
What'd your players think? Go on. What'd your players think?
Your players don't give a fuck.
Nope.
Because when your players are coming to session 1, they are playing a new class.
Yep.
Potentially a new subclass if you start 3. They've got this entire new backstory they're thinking about.
They're worried about how their character's presenting.
They're thinking about their voice.
Yep.
They're thinking about how they're going to roleplay if somebody asks them a question.
Yep.
They are literally almost paralyzed with nerves at the table. And you're like sat there sweating about whether they're in a cart or a tavern. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, they probably don't give a fuck.
Yep.
So ask them how they enjoyed the last ones. Because if they enjoyed, being in a cart, or like traveling, my most recent campaign started in a cart.
Yeah.
2 convoys met as they were going to Hemwick.
Perfect.
And, they met like a prominent NPC from a one-shot.
Perfect.
The second campaign started, everybody was going to a town. There was literally a showing of the town. There was like they'd gone to a new town and somebody was like tour guiding them around.
Yeah.
The first campaign was just in a tavern.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is, like, as long as they get to meet each other, it doesn't really matter.
I very much agreed.
We put so much fucking pressure on how it starts.
Yeah, and
it doesn't
again,
really matter.
You say here, like, they're starting in a cart in a tavern. Hey, all good stories start in a tavern for a reason, because it's a good cliche that feels really good, and everyone likes to live in the fantasy of that. I think.
I've said before, and I'll say again, if it's good enough for Matthew Mercer,
oh yeah,
it's good
truly
enough for me.
Yeah, I would say, Kyle, first things first, ask your players what they enjoyed, and hey, if they actually come back to you and they say, actually, maybe it was a bit clunky, actually,
which I don't think they'll
no,
say.
Which I don't think they will say. No, absolutely not. But then that's the fun part. You can then go, okay, well, what would you like to see? And then it becomes this collaborative thing where you all work out together what you want, and it's a positive thing. Even if they come back saying it was great, you can say, okay, what did you enjoy? Now, in terms of the question you ask me, what do I enjoy about a beginning quest? I have two things actually that I really enjoy. The most recent, which is the start to your campaign. As Jack said, we actually ran a one shot in that world, and we had a great time. And then the start of the actual campaign, we actually went back to a starting place that was in the one shot, and that felt amazing for me. Mm-hmm. It felt amazing for everyone. I know it did. Could you do something like that, Kyle? Yeah. Could you do something like in the lead up to the start of this new campaign or something? You do say it will be the third year of the campaign, but it will bring the story to the close. Mm-hmm. In the middle of that campaign ending, your new one starting, why don't you do a one shot in the world? A one shot in the new world where
something like big happens that, and you know, they can be like high level in the one shot. Yep. And they do something awesome and they succeed at a mission. But I don't know, maybe they die in that. Yes. And like we never truly understood what happened from this mission. So these people are like a sort of scouting team to find out what happened, and they can come across like the battlefield or like the remnants of what once happened to these heroes that have gone missing. Yeah. Or something like that. And that's a cool thing.
Hey, listen, nostalgia does a good thing to your brain. Your players go back into that world and they see the world changed, the same. They see characters that their one-shot characters met. It feels really good.
Feels great.
Like I would genuinely, and this is to everyone, I would always now suggest, and this is coming from my own personal opinion, run a one-shot in the world and then have the campaign take place in the same world and let your players literally see where their one-shot characters were. It feels good.
One thing I will say that I don't like, I know that that's not what you asked for, but you know, it's my goddamn podcast, I guess. I've started 2 campaigns immediately jumping into combat, and I dislike both of it. They were 2 moments where I was actually like, this felt clunky. This didn't feel like it was good. We started 2 campaigns, jumped straight into combat. It felt unnatural.
Oh, yes.
It felt like kind of strange and
weird.
Yes,
yeah, no, I agree.
And personally, I don't know if you have the same thoughts here, but jumping straight into combat is a no-no for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I very much agree because everyone's really nervous and everyone, again, has ideas of the character in their head. When you go straight into a combat, you haven't even been able to get into the headspace of your character. Yeah. You haven't met anyone. You have no allegiances to anyone. You haven't even said hello.
You don't even know why you're fighting side by side.
Agreed. The last thing I really liked was in your first campaign when we started off. You say we were just in a tavern. It was actually like a town fair. There was like a festivity on. And that was so much fun because yes, we started in the tavern, but then we went outside and there was 1,000,000 activities we could take part in. Yeah. We could go and do apple bobbing.
We could guessing games like card games, animal racing.
It was, you know, and again, I realize that this is such a personal thing to me, but you know, the childlike wonder of having the fair, being able to go get something fun to eat, be able to go do something fun.
Watch a show,
yeah.
Like let the players, like I put in the fair, I put in like games that each of them would be good at. Yeah. Like, and that just sort of like let them show their skills immediately.
Totally, in a way that wasn't combat.
Things that they were excited about doing that weren't combat.
Yeah, agreed. And I loved that. And so that's 2 completely different ways to do it, but I would suggest doing the one shot in the world first. Really,
but you could do both of those things.
I really hope that helps, Kyle.
It could be the time together. Do a fair, do a celebration in a town, celebrating the day that those heroes won that battle in the one shot.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh
it's
my
like
God,
a year
100%.
on, and it's like the first like festive season.
God, 100%.
Holiday day of celebrating the heroes.
Yeah, good fun. And hey,
they were in the one shot.
You know, above all of that, Kyle, trust your storytelling. Oh my God, trust your storytelling. You've been playing with the same group for 3 years.
You're in a 3-year-long campaign.
Listen, your players love how you DM.
Your players are clearly enjoying themselves.
Absolutely.
So I wouldn't doubt you.
No, totally. Absolutely. So, hey, something out there I hope will help.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you very much. And I do hope that helps. All right, this is the last one. This is it. This is the final one.
It's the finale.
All right, everyone, I told you to I don't think I did. Buckle in.
Yeah, we'll fucking buckle in.
Oh my God, buckle in.
Right now, buckle in.
Buckle in.
Last one.
And now take it off.
Yeah, take it off.
Yep. Don't need it.
Put your slippers on.
And get out of here.
Get the kettle boiling because you're going to go make yourself a cup of tea after this.
Yeah.
Something like that.
All right. This one has been sent in by Anonymous and he goes by he, they.
Thank you very much, Anonymous, for your
Thank you
submission.
so much, Anonymous.
Margaret gave me the look.
I did. I gave you the look. Thank you to
Thank
Anonymous. Thank you. Hi, Jack and Margaret. Thank you for all you do in reading this submission. It is our pleasure.
Thank you.
I have been DMing a module Descent into Avernus for 4 players for approximately the last 6 months now. We meet about every 2 weeks and are making good progress. So we can probably finish in the next 6 to 9 months if my players don't get too sidetracked. I'm having a great time and I think my players are too.
Awesome.
One of my players is expecting a baby in the next few months. Yay! And I would like to make sure that she is able to participate in the campaign as much or as little as she would like, now that she has some significant life changes coming up. We're not pressed for time yet, but I do like to be prepared. I plan to discuss contingencies with her so that her character doesn't have to die or vanish, and that doesn't seem like a good response to a happy real-life event, but I'd like some input on creative ideas. I have 2 thoughts so far. The first is to have her character stay at a settlement and spy on the enemies, sending messages to the party, informing them of what's going on. I'd like her to have write-in character letters to the party and keep up some of the role-playing, and that would be basically on her own time via email so that the schedule is flexible.
That's a good idea.
My second idea is to send her character on their own mission to recruit allies for the BBEG and could hopefully get her back for a one-night event for a campaign finale. I'd love to hear if you have any other ideas about what her character could do to keep herself involved if she is interested. Thanks so much.
Sounds great.
First of all, good on you, OP, for wanting to keep her involved.
Yeah.
I think that's something I think people don't talk about enough. Like, we're all fucking old. Yeah, some of our friends are having kids.
I'm old.
Oh, God, I'm old. Jesus. Oh, I'm ancient, yeah.
And if you're older than me, I'm not saying you're old.
Oh.
I'm just old.
Walking Dead.
But so, like...
Good on you for wanting to go so far to keep your player involved.
Like, you've got some great ideas. And
yeah,
I think
I agree.
So far, you've got some fantastic ideas. But a way that we could maybe flesh it out even more is let's take Pike Trickfoot Campaign 1. Ashley was filming Blind Spot, and she was in and out of the campaign constantly.
Yeah.
So Matt basically tied in her belief of the Everlight with her reasons as to not coming.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you do come on in a settlement. I don't know the character's backstory, but let's try and tie it in. Let's just say they are a religious person.
Yeah, yeah.
And their god is like somebody who isn't massively celebrated.
Yeah.
And they're going through these like dungeons and stuff like that, and they find a settlement, and it's sort of like in ruin, in disrepair, but it's of the god that they worship. So they're like, you guys go on, I need to stay here because I'm going to fix up this town.
Yes.
Make it a place of worship for my god. Like, give their backstory a reason why they can't.
Yeah. Think about their
join.
backstory. And again, it could be, you know, we don't know if like her character has like a god or religion, but it could be something simple as family. Yeah. Oh my God, they've had a family member call in and being like, we need you here. You know, something like that. But something like that.
You have to clap out for the dog. Sorry. Yeah. So like, let's just say, like Margaret said, family. Like, they never knew who their mother was. They never knew who their father was. They lost their twin sibling when they were a child, and they thought they were dead. And then
they ate them in the.
They get to this camp, and then they find that person, and it's just like, I need to make up for some lost time.
Totally.
Like, I'm gonna stay here for a bit. Do you mind?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like tie it in with either your story that's going on, like you said, like recruiting people for the BBEG, or like tie it in with their backstory, so it feels natural. It feels awesome.
And hey, you're saying, OP, that you'd like some creative input. Ask her.
See what she thinks. Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
She knows she's having a baby. Like,
the rest of the party knows she's having a baby.
You know, it's not a secret that she's going to have to go. I actually think she would probably really appreciate knowing that you're thinking so in detail about what happens. And hey, who better to get creative input from than her? Yeah. And that doesn't mean that if you have like surprises planned for her, that doesn't mean you can't still do that. Yeah. It just means you have a real direction of what she would like.
Yeah.
And you know, I know I don't need to say this because you have said if she's interested, if she wants to. Listen, having a child is something that changes your life forever.
And it can be quite alienating from your friends.
It is, and it's a huge commitment. It's life-changing. Yeah. So there's postpartum depression is a real thing. And if she doesn't seem like she is interested, she doesn't have the time, etc., please do not take that as anything personal. Don't give up on her. It's a real chance that, hey, oh my God, she just simply
going through it.
Yeah, and it might not be on her priority list, but please don't hold that against her.
Yeah.
I know you wouldn't, and I'm not saying you would.
I don't think somebody who puts in a submission like this.
No,
would.
truly, but please, she could have all the intentions of being like, yeah, I love this, I love to do this. But hey, when it comes to it, the most important thing is keeping her and her child and her family, head above water.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a chance she might not have time or the will, etc., to do it. And that's not anything against you. And please don't give up on her.
And, just you already mentioned about the letters. One beautiful thing from campaign 1, and I think it would be a brilliant thing, just so people feel her there even more, is instead of doing these letters, do voice memos as a letter.
Yeah, God,
so here's a letter from that character, like this person who's left.
Yeah,
you give it to one of the players, but there's nothing on it, because as they open it up, you play the voice memo.
Yeah, God,
it's as if they're like reading it in their head.
Yeah,
and then the rest of the people can hear it. It just gives that more like personal touch.
So yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, that's beautiful.
That would be a really great thing to do as well.
Agreed. And again, this all has to be completely on her time and completely if she wants to. And I know you wouldn't force her to do these things, but just make it clear to her that it's as involved as she wants to be. But man, the fact that you want to is really good, really great of you. And I think the whole recruiting allies for the BBGs are fucking brilliant way to do it.
Like if you can tie it in well, like backstory or with a like story thread that you're like currently doing. Yeah. That's how you should do it.
Yeah.
And just consider the other things that we mentioned as well, like the voice memos.
Thank you for recognizing God having like a character die or vanish. That's not a good response to a happy event.
No. Nope.
Agreed.
Nope, that's not what we want to do.
Oh, good on you. What a wonderful DM you are. And talk to her. Seriously, talk to her. Find out what she wants.
You can go to her with a few ideas.
Absolutely.
Even. And just be like, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? She might go, that's unreal.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Exactly.
And as long as she's happy with it, then it doesn't matter anything else.
Hey, she might just go, please don't worry about it. Let's just not do anything. And if that's the case, hey, everyone suspend your disbelief.
Yeah.
She's just gone for as long as she needs to be, and you don't have to do anything in her stead. You know what I mean? I hope that helps. I think you've got it.
I think you've got it,
Yeah, I think you got it. I think you got it. And that's it.
Yes.
That's all. That's
your fill for the day.
That's it. Are you full?
You better be.
Huh? Is your seatbelt off? Are your shoes on? Are you ready? Is your coat on?
I bet you have to untie your belt because you're so full.
Yeah.
You have to unbuckle that shit.
Yeah.
You have to slouch in your chair like this.
Oh, God.
Just like you're eating a big Christmas dinner.
Yeah, if you have jeans on, they come off.
So much content.
Yeah, totally.
There is a lot of content coming out.
You know what?
Podblast, so I hope you're enjoying it.
I've changed the end screen because we have so many things going on now. I put like a schedule for when we post. Man, it's a lot of fucking content
Monday
now.
Video.
Jesus.
We do Wednesday campaign update video.
We do Thursday video. Friday
stream.
Sunday stream.
That's
a lot of content.
That's a lot of content. I hope you're enjoying it. Let us know if you're enjoying it.
Definitely. And please, the Homebrew Challenge. Oh my God.
Get involved.
Please get involved.
And then
Absolutely.
get in stream on a Sunday and a Friday. But mainly on a Sunday for the Homebrew Challenge.
Yes, indeed.
And let's talk about your homebrew.
Absolutely.
Because you all have such brilliant ideas.
Yep. God, absolutely.
So enter the Discord and enter that.
Yep.
www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. Go and pick up some Podblast merch. Entity t-shirts are out. Logo hoodies are out. So go and pick something up from there.
Yep.
Our Hellbound store is linked down below if you want to support us in a different way. We've got notebooks with your character's name on, dice bags with your character's name on, inspiration tokens, and many more D&D goodies there. And code Podblast will get you 10% off.
And a huge thank you to BardSong for sponsoring today's episode.
Thank you so much for BardSong.
Thank you so much.
Go and head over to their Kickstarter
link
which is
in the
live
description
right now for another 11 days.
Yep.
And go and support them. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of the
Yes,
Podblast.
indeed. Thank you.
Like the video. Hit the bell to be notified when we upload a video on a Monday and Thursday. And a Wednesday.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness gracious me.
I'm going to have to change that in my vocabulary. Comment down below with all of your advice and things that you, bits of advice that you would give prior Adam's
yes, indeed. Please, yes.
submission today. Anything else? Subscribe if you haven't. I love you.
I love you.
Bully loves you.
Yes.
We've been the Eldritch Podblast. And we're going to see you on Thursday.
Bye.